Probably.
Well, should have to leave a few minutes later.
Well, today will be is actually a quicker shoot. It's like tomorrow. No, it looks a little bit longer tomorrow. I was hoping to get into it, but then I see what's it called?
It's not that long.
No, it's not long, but it looks like there's a lot of Rosh Hashanah on it. All right.
Oh, let me ready.
Look, that's pretty much it during the morning.
Yeah, man.
Did you record it?
It's on.
Rock and roll.
Just gonna wait till he simmers down. All right. Good morning, everybody. Today is Daf Kuf Nun Gimel. We got another couple weeks of Baba Basra. Right, you're done with Baba Basra is when you're skiing this? All right. When is it done?
It was about a week after.
A week after. Okay, very nice. Yeah, makes sense. All right. So today is Daf
Yomi.
Daf Yomi. Kuf Nun Gimel. So we got to the top. Did we get the Hahi Matanasa?
Yes.
Okay. Five lines from the top.
Ahmed Aleph.
Ahmed Aleph. Kuf Nun Gimel.
Okay, coming.
Yeah.
Ahu Matanasa Stahavi Kosova B'Chayim U'B'Mavis. There was a matana that was given B'Chayim U'B'Mavis. The guy was a shimera, and we did not know what his intentions were. Was he trying to go ahead and give this as a matana of B'Chayim, and therefore it's a valid matana? Or is it B'Mavis in his death, and if the guy got better, then it would be it would not work. So Rab Omar Harei Kematana Shimera. Rab says B'Chaim Mavis.
What is that?
Looks good, actually.
We need to pause here right now. What is that? Is that Plastics?
That's two.
No, it's tuner.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Oh,
Fine.
dude. I'm gonna build it.
Sarei Kematana Shimera. Ushmol Omar Harei Kematana Baria. It's considered to be because the person says b'chaim, so therefore it was a life gift, and therefore a regular gift, and therefore in such a case it's kept. So let's explain. Rabba Maharei Kimatan Shchimera, it's Matan Shchimera. He says b'chaim u'maves. Why midachsi b'maves? Because it's b'maves. He's intended for it to be given, after he died. B'mavis achamisa kamar means after death.
What do you mean? And mean what you said.
Achamisa kamar le b'hai the cause of b'chai. Now what you said b'chai simon b'yalma b'chai, right? He was like saying sort of like a simon b'yalma. He's trying to say to life, but this will go to you after my death. Ushmul Amar Harei Kimatis Barya. No, it's actually a healthy person's gift, and therefore you can't go back. By the fact it says b'chayim. By the fact it says b'chayim, right? Mechayim kamar. In other words, it should take place now. In other words, not upon his death, but should take place immediately. B'hay d'chsiv u'maves. That which says b'maves. Command yomar miyata v'yadaylam. It means like forever, just like death is forever. No, it should be for years, but from now. I'm sorry. In this case, there was no kinyan. Well. No, so it was given to him. The guy took it, and he took it. And the question was afterwards, what did he mean? So Ari Nahardia. So they said Nahardia. Hilchasa kavase de Rav. The halacha is like Rav, who says it's a matzanas shchimera. In other words, that it can go back, right? If the person gets better, it can go back. So Amar Rav of Amar Rava because he be mechayim kana. If he says, and Rava says, if he says mechayim kana, he acquires it. In other words, it's a matnas barya. Amar Meimar. So in other words, the guy receives it; he can't go back on it. So Amar Meimar. Let's hilchos like kavasi Rava. The halacha is not like Rava. So the halacha is not like Rava. So Amar Le Ramashi LeMeimar. He says to Ramashi LeMeimar. Pshita. It's obvious. Though Amar Nahardia hilchos like kavasi Rav. They said the halacha is like Rav. In other words, it was a matnas shchimera. The guy gets better; he can go back. So of course the halacha is not like Rava, who says that the guy keeps it. So the question is no. Now the Moshe said mechayim. Maybe mechayim is different, right, from life mechayim than bichayim, right? Mechayim maydira. maybe Rav would agree in such a case. In other words, that the gift is given now, and therefore it's irrevocable. So Kamash Malan, then no, Mechayim and Bechayim is the same thing. And I would do also the command of Rav Nachman Ardia, shut to the command of Rav Yirmiyah bar Avos. So that I guess there was a case where a person wrote Bechayim Uvamavis, and this case came. How do we rule? Is this case the Matas Shchim or Matanas Baria? I should shut the command of Rav Yirmiyah bar Avos. So L'Shum Tamya. I guess that was where he was from, L'Shum Tamya. So Amar Hacha Asa the Shmuel. Over here is the we go according to Shmuel. And now Shmuel says it was a Matanas Baria, and therefore it doesn't go back. Hey, when you have a Kavasi the Rav, how can we say the Matanas Shchimera and you be able to get it back because you got better? This is this is the place where we hold like Shmuel. And now he does say the Kamei de Rava. So this woman, I guess, the came before Rava, and Avad la Rava Kishmaitze, and Rava the Shmaitze. In other words, he did it. Basically, this woman gave it away as she says Mechayim, and Rava ruled, and Rava ruled like him, like Shmuel, where it says that it is kept. And Havika Tardele, and she was like, "How can I China?" And she wanted it back, and he says, "What can I say, Mechayim?" So she kept on pestering and pestering. So Amar Le Rav Papa Berei the Rav Nosson Safrei. So he said to his Rav Papa Berei Rav Chanan to his cipher, Zil Kosovla. Okay, go ahead and write. She can get it back. Okay, the cost of bond right at the end, Seicher Aleim Omitan, right? That a renter is allowed to go ahead and trick people, right? This is a reference to another Mishnah. That a person go ahead and trick people, or a renter to go ahead and do something to trick. In other words, he's basically saying that this is trickery. That which I said that she gets it back is really trickery. So therefore, any Bezdin afterwards that would see such a document, they know that really the only reason why this document was written that she can get it back is because she was pestering. But really, it was a Matanas Baria like Rava, and therefore she couldn't get it back. So
to trick her a little
it
bit.
was to trick her. She was fine. Take it, right? Take it and I'll put it at the bottom. But right, but if you look at the fine print, any basin will be able to realize that this is a little bit trickery and not to go ahead and uphold this document. So Amra, she realized what was going on. So Litava, Arbe Atay. Right. So she said. I'll tell you, Arba Atoy Matisli, right? She says what? In other words, right? He's trying to trick me. So therefore, he's trying to be Toyami. Let Rava, she's cursed Rava, let his ship sink. And of course, we see many times. So what they do, everyone got nervous. All of a sudden, she cursed Rava. We got to remove this curse. So Shinu Lamani de Rava, the Maya, they took Rava's clothes and they soaked it in water. So okay, they fulfilled the curse this way. They are filu nevertheless. In other words, his boat was not saved from sinking, and her curse came to fruition.
No, but it did survive.
Why didn't he just wear a vest?
His boat, he survived, or his boat sank at sea.
Oh, the boat did sink?
Yeah, as it says. Nevertheless, he was not saved, right? It was not saved from drowning. Yeah, he did not, right. It was just his boat.
You should have wore a red bendel.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's saying good. Nine Mishnah. Mishnah says, "Loi kasav lo shivmira." In it was said over. The person, the witnesses, they wrote it down. What? Right, lo kasav. Right, lo kasav was not written. Right, it was not written. Those were writing down. They did not write in it. The person giving it was the shchimera.
The guy himself, the shchimera didn't write it.
Right, so it was not written. Right, whoever wrote down the document that the person was giving as a gift.
I mean, they didn't write that he was a shchimera.
Correct. Right. Yeah. So it was not written that the person was shchimera. So who Omar? So he says shchimera hayisi. So he got better. And he says, I was a shchimera, and therefore I give it back.
Give it back.
And the recipients were saying, you were healthy, right? You were healthy, and therefore you gave a gift, right? So he's trying to claim that he was a shchimera, and therefore it goes back. I was dying. I thought I was dying. That's why I gave it to you. But really, I never would have given you my watch.
Tricked him.
He wanted it back.
But he didn't write it that he's Shchimera.
No, so that's not tricking. So that's not tricking. There's no trick.
No, but he's more disadvantaged. The giver is more disadvantaged if it wasn't written that he was Shchimera, because we cannot favor him.
Now, if he was a shchimera, well, the favor for shchimera is that person can get it back.
So we give it all.
Assume right. Assume the case it was given it.
Oh, right, but what if you give partial, then these
Right. So then he says if it's machmas spacey, right. So
That's the reason why we say that that a schemera should not have it written down.
Right, it should be.
It should
what?
not be written down.
now what should not be written down?
That a gift,
The gift was given why? Was it
because if it's not written in.
that he was a
schemera.
so right? So let's see. So what happened? Like because of shchimera. So who over shchimera isa was a shchimera. V'heina min baria isa. No, you're healthy. So tzarich lavi raish shchimera divrei meir. Says Rameir, right? He gave it, right? So we know you gave it.
Was
So
it
now
writ-
you got to go ahead and bring a proof that you were dying on your sickbed. And
Was it written?
what was it was not written that he was a shchimera.
Then it should
The
get
document,
back.
there was a document written that he gave it over. That was written. What was not written, the other person had the piece of paper. But what was not written was that whether the person was dying or not. So he says, I was dying. So bring proof that you were dying, and then you'll be able to get it back divrei meir.
So
Now, the Chachamim say, right, bring a proof, right? In other words, they have to go ahead. They bring a proof that he was not dying, and then you extract the object, even if they have the document or the document is not there. But the lemaisa, the gift, is being extracted from the person who was either dying or not dying. So Rameir says,
So they didn't more believe the Shchimera.
right. So the truth is, Machlok is really going to explain what Machlok is tomorrow. But according to this Pashtus, Rameir says the guy wants to keep it. He has to bring proof, right? He has to bring proof that he was indeed a shchimera, right? Because maybe it could be that shchimera is not so common. So proof that you're a shchimera is, unusual circumstances. Then you'll keep it. They say, some say you're trying to extract money, the gift from this guy. So therefore, bring proof that you're able to go ahead and extract the gift. Sahu. So Dr. Gemara.
Didn't have it yet.
What?
The actual gift, and he actually kills it again with possession. Apparently, it's supposed to go back to the stream.
Right. So right. But we're assuming the case a little different. So let's see. Sahu matanasa dahavi kasava kad havi katsir v'rami ba'arse. So there was a matana, a gift that was written, and it said over there kad havi katsir v'rami ba'arse. Right. He was sick and he was lying in bed. It doesn't say in there, but from this sickness, he went to his final resting spot. Now,
Because he's not dead yet.
right? Well, he eventually dies. Person eventually dies, but it could be person was sick, right? He went to the hospital. He was sick. He recovered from that. Then he came back for a couple of weeks, and then he got sick again. So it could be that the person didn't die from this disease, right? Maybe he died another way. Right, he didn't die from this illness. He died. He died, or even a month later from something else. He got pneumonia a month later, but he didn't die from whatever it was that he thought he was dying from.
Why would you write this respect? If when he wrote the Shema, the guy's alive.
He wrote the star. I'm dying, or I'm sick in bed. Right? He said, right? Right. I'm sick in bed, and I'm writing this star. Yigal gets my watch. Okay, and then 2 weeks later, Yigal. A month later, Yigal goes to the house and he says, "Okay, give me the watch, because from Mr. Johnson, right? I have to document it. It was given to me. He's dead." So they said, "No, when did he give that to you? A month ago? No. He got better. He died a week ago from pneumonia. He wasn't a shchimera then, so it's nothing. It was right. And that was that case. So which one was it? Right? So Amar. So if he recuperated, right or not? So Amar Rabba. Hare base. Hare kavara. So says Rabba. Behold, the guy is dead. Right? The mice say he's dead. And to prove it, go check out his grave. So obviously he was a shchimera. So Amar le Abaye, Hashta, I understand. So you're saying, look at his chazaka now. What's his chashta? His chazaka now is dead. So it must be he was a shchimera, right? So therefore, he should be a shchimera.
We said in between, he reset all his pleasures.
I'm sorry, say it again. Huh?
It's on the futa.
Why?
Because he recovered. So
No, we don't know if he recovered. We don't know if he
He didn't change his thing. He just-
we don't know if he recovered. They're making a claim that he recovered, that wasn't.
now I have to
That-
prove that he.
So that matana wasn't good.
In order for me to get
That matana wasn't good.
I have to prove that he was not recovered. That's what we
died
said.
from that time.
No, but we said Alema Raya, the one that received the gift have to prove that he did not recover. It was Shemara.
So that's the question. The question is upon who is the burden of proof? So that's what we're going to get to. Is it? So says Rabbah, the guy is dead, all right, and he wrote in his document he was giving it away when he was sick.
Right.
So therefore, it's mine. The watch is mine. Others will claim, no, he got better and he got sick from something else. And therefore, he wasn't a shechina at the time. So therefore, those verbal gifts weren't valid.
So the Yoshim. It goes to the Yoshim.
And therefore, it goes to the Yoshim.
So, yeah, okay.
Now, so let's say a ship sinks at sea. So nice and alam chumrei chayim chumrei mesim. So over there, right? Halacha. Let's say Gabi, the daughter of a kohen, right? So when she's in her father's house, right, she can go ahead and eat truma. Let's say she's married to Yisrael, she can't eat truma anymore. But let's say her husband was on the boat, right, and we don't know if he's dead or not. So we'll say the chumrah is we assume you're still married. We assume you're still married and therefore you can't eat truma. Or vice versa, she was married to a Kohen, right, and he was on the boat. And we'll say, you know what, maybe the Kohen is no longer alive, and therefore you can't eat truma. So we give both chumas of Chaim and Chumim Mesim. So over here, in this case, most people get better from sickness. Most people don't die when they get sick. So therefore, so we assume that the person survived. So certainly we should assume that the person is alive, and therefore the person survived. Therefore, was not a good matana. So Amar Rav Huna Bar Yeshua Sekaman Azla Hashmaitza. Who does that go like? So the Rabbah. So who does that? Which Rabbah said that you know what? You go after the Chazaka right now. What's the status right now? That's like a Rav Nasan, like Rav Nasan. The Tana of the Bryce. Me might see me on me. In this case, who takes from who? Yeah. So who might see me deyam below raya, right? So he takes it from them, right? In other words, the guy who was giving the gift away. In other words, let's say the case of our Mishnah, right? When the guy gave it, then he got better, right? So then they're saying, hey, you weren't the shechimera, and he says I was. So me might see me on me. Right? Who might see me adain? Beloy raya, vehein might see me yado, but they can't take it from him. Ella baraya only with a proof. David Rabbi Yaakov, they can only do it with a proof. How much David Rabbi Yaakov? Nasan Aimer in Bar Yahu. If he's healthy right now, then Allah lavi raya. Then he has to go ahead and bring proof. In other words, we go after your chazaka now. Now you're healthy. Bring proof that you're sick. If he's a shchimera now, then a late lavi raya. Then it's on them to go ahead and bring proof that he was healthy. So in other words, you go after the cheskes hashta. So whatever the chazak is right now, the guy is dead. Must be he died from that. So bring proof that he didn't die.
Going back to
the
boat sinking. I mean, the people in the tunnels now, we have to assume that.
So we go l'chumra. In other words, we'll assume that the one who is preventing the woman from eating truma is alive. In other words, if she married a Kohen, right, and he was on the boat, so we'll say, so the chumrah is, right, let's say chumrah kind of chumrah mason. That we go chumrah mason. In that case, chumrah mason, he might be dead, therefore he can't eat truma. And if she was a bas Kohen and she was married to Yisrael, right, so if the guy is dead, she can go back to her father's house and eat truma. Let's say she doesn't have kids, right?
We get captives in the tunnel, we can't then assume either way. That's okay.
Right, so there's a chumras, right? So we go chumras, we don't know, right? So we go l'chumra to whatever stringency, so to prevent them from eating trum. So it's over here, we should say, certainly, we should, most people get better. So it's a chumrah here that, certainly we should say that, who says the person was, was a shchimera? Chances are he wasn't. So therefore you can't go ahead and get it. So, right. So Amar Rabbi Elazar, right? Ulatuma kamachlekas. In other words, we see this case also machlekas over here by Tuma. That's now we're learning the Mishnah. So Bika b'yamaisachama. Now it used to be that they would go ahead and plant in the winter. It was raining and people would not go on the crops. No one would be out in the winter. People would go out in the summer to harvest. They would go out in the dry season to harvest. They can go over there, but in the winter, nobody was out there, right? So therefore, in the winter, all right, it was considered very private. No one was out there. In the summer, it was public. Okay. Now, so now let's say a person goes in there, and so we're talking about a field, large field, which is fenced in. A large field that's fenced in, and the person went in, and there was tumor there, and he was not sure whether he touched the tumor or not.
Oh.
So he was not certain if he touched the tumor or not. So what do you do in that case? So Bika b'yimai zachama. So Reshus HaYachid l'Shabbos. It's Reshus HaYachid when it comes to Shabbos, meaning that you can't go ahead and carry from this place, this fenced-in area, into the Reshus HaRabim because it's fenced-in area. Reshus HaRabim l'Tuma, but it's considered to be a Reshus HaRabim l'Tuma. Now, during the summer, a lot of people are there. It's considered to be a public place. We know that halach is by a public place that, as we learn from Sota, a suffix in public is tahor, right? A suffix in privacy is tameh. So since it's public, right? So therefore, Reshus HaRabim is, so it's Reshus HaRabim l'Tuma, it will be tahor. But during the summer,
So it's trying to make the tumor to.
no, so we don't know, right? So in this case, we're talking about a case of where the person might have touched something or not. He was uncertain.
Right.
So let's take a look at the area. So if it was a public area, there's a lot of people there. It's considered Reshus HaRabim, and Reshus HaRabim is tahor. Is tahor, right? But if there's nobody there, but in the Yom Hashem one is during the rain season when people don't walk on the crops when they're growing, then it's Reshus HaYachid, then it's considered to be a private area, and therefore it's Reshus HaYachid both for Shabbos. You can't carry from that fenced in large that karfev into Reshus HaRabim, and also you would be tameh. And Amar Rava Laishanu Ella and over here. So basically, it depends, right? So right? When there's no, so in other words, but over here, the point is when the person goes ahead and asks, if he asked the shaila, right, during the, when it occurred, if he asked the shaila during the Moshe Geshamim, so we'll assume it's now during the Moshe Geshamim, and therefore it's, we'll assume it's, it was private. And if it was during the Moshe Chama, so then we'll say it was during the summer where it's tahor. All right, so you go according to the Chazaka now. It says, this is only when, since that happened, the winter months did not pass when it was private. But if the Reshus HaYachid passed through it, then we'll say it's considered to be a Reshus HaYachid for both. And therefore, in this case, so if Yaakov would say that the person is tahor because he originally started tahor and proved to me that he's tameh, versus Rab Nassan who would say whatever you're asking the shala now, your current status, that's what you are. That's how we assume unless we prove otherwise.
So we assume that he's tahor.
I'll stop you in 2 minutes. What?
We assume that he's tahor, just like
According to Rabbi Yaakov. According to Rab Nassan, right? In other words, according to Rab Nassan, so whatever it is now, prove to it that's the other. In other words, if it's during the rain season, it's Reshus HaYachid, and therefore you'd be tameh. Whereas if it's during the tameh, so we assume it's tameh because it occurred now. So therefore,
that's the way he started.
Right.
It's in Reshus HaYachid.
Right, and therefore it goes according to when the question was asked. Right, it goes according to when that question was asked, not what his status was when he questioned. So when the question was asked, we assume that as so that would be the same case as ours. The person's dead. We assume he was dead. According to the other one, most people are the chazaka. Most people live, and therefore that's the machlokes in that case, just like our case over here. And we'll stop over here at the 2 dots.
Okay.